Okay, now I'm going to show you something you don't want to have to know how to do. Sometimes it's necessary. On this one, you can't really see it on the film, I don't assume, but there's some lines, indents, when I put things, they just got scratched on them, and I really don't like that, and this is all messed up too. I need to sand this again, because what happened was a stack of them fell, and something fell on top of this and dented my plaque, and it dented the scratched these, so I need to take them off and redo them. And you got to be really careful when doing that, because you can really mess up everything you've done. What I do is I get out a little razor, come underneath it, and you don't want to scratch the wood underneath it. So and you don't want to cut your hand. So I just be very careful, get underneath it, start pulling it up. Wow, that one worked out really well. All the glue stayed on the back side of it, so it's a nice smooth tear there. That piece is no good anymore. Come along here, usually you get a corner, work your way under it like this, and just keep pushing, tear it up. This is more like what you end up with. And so you just keep working your way kind of in a circle. You want to come in as much as possible, keep the blade underneath so that you don't end up with a scratch on your plaque, and just pull it up like that. You'll end up with this cruddy stuff on here, but I use rubber cement, and so it actually is rubber, so you can push real hard and wear out your fingertip and pull up on that, and then try to get it up. Sometimes you can get it up with your fingernail, and just keep working it. Hopefully you can get to the point where you can grab something and it'll actually continue to tear up, kind of like a sunburn when you're peeling the skin off a sunburn, and you can keep all of it together. It's kind of gross, I guess, but you just work through it, keep going on it. I'm using my fingernail there. I'm trying to get to the point where I can show you how you can pull off a big strip of it. But if you can't pull off the strip, just keep using your thumb and finger, pulling up on it, or the thing. Just keep finding an edge or a corner and keep pushing on it like this, tapping it like that. Apparently I didn't put enough glue on this one because it's not sticking together. But just work your way through, trying to not scratch the surface of your thing. I'm going to need to sand this plaque down anyway, because it's got some dents on it. There we go. A little bit of a... No, that wasn't enough to mention. So I'll probably just have to scrape the whole thing off like this. It's just not something you want to have to do, but this is basically how you do it. Just keep scratching it like this, hoping that you don't snag the wood, because that'll ruin the big gouge in it. Okay, so there's the green is off now. This little character, by the way, was from my 12 Days of Christmas pack. And he was the Piper piping. Oops. So you just keep on it, getting underneath, getting as much as you can here, shaking the camera, I guess. And here you can see I'm pulling it up, and you can get sometimes the rubber will come up like that. Just grab it all off. That one worked out really well, where most of the glue is on the bottom side there. Left a little bit on here, can scratch that off. And so you just keep going till you get them all off. I won't bore you with having to watch it all, but you know, bit by bit you can get all this stuff off, and then you want to if it looks okay and the other pieces will cover it, you're fine. Even if you've got little teeny flecks, there's some flecks of glue on here, that's probably okay, because when you put that over it, it covers it. But in the case of this, where I've got a couple of dents in it, I actually need to sand the plaque again. So I'm pulling the whole thing off, even though this particular piece is okay. I'm going to have to redo it. This one's coming up pretty good, but basically that's how you do it, is you just get underneath and keep pushing on it and kind of push in towards the center all the way around, because if you come out here, you're in trouble. You can get an X-Acto knife. If some of the glue comes out, you can get an X-Acto knife and kind of, with the X-Acto knife, not with this, just kind of carefully cut along here a few times, and then you can pull it up. Let's pretend this is part of it. You just pull on the glue and it'll pull right out of there. But if you cut too deep through the glue, you'll actually leave a cut in your plaque, and that may be okay if you're not going to have to replace this. But if you have to pull this out and you put it back, it's got to be over whatever groove you cut into it. If you cut a groove into it and don't move this, you probably will never see the groove and you're okay. But just be very careful when using a razor blade on wood. They don't go together very well, obviously. But that's basically how you disassemble one of these that you've put on.